Good to see you back. This is another great film noir and a very different story for the genre. It features fine performances from actors who went on to make other great film noirs, and is from a director who, while loathed by many of the actors he worked with, was someone who elicited great performances from them. It is Laura from 1944. The film's story began as a Vera Caspary play, Ring Twice for Laura, which she adapted into a novel titled Laura and later into a serialised story in Collier's magazine. Otto Preminger expressed interest in reworking the play with an eye to producing it for the stage, but Caspary chose to work with George Sklar instead. The updated play opened in London in 1945 and on Broadway in 1947. Preminger convinced 20th Century Fox production chief Darryl F. Zanuck to purchase the rights for the novel, and along with Jay Dratler, Samuel Hoffenstein and Elizabeth Reinhardt, they adapted the screenplay. The challenge was that the book contains 5 sections telling the story using 5 different voices. This was too cumbersome for film, so the script was simplified and confined to Waldo Lydecker's point of view. Casting is one of the essential ingredients that makes this film great. Zanuck wanted Jennifer Jones for the role of Laura, Laird Krieger for Waldo, and John Hodiak for Mark McPherson, but that didn't suit Preminger. Hedy Lamarr was offered the role of Laura but turned it down. Rosalind Russell declined as she felt that the role was too small, and Eva Gabor was also considered, as well as Marlene Dietrich, who expressed an interest in playing Laura but wasn't offered the role. Preminger insisted on casting Gene Tierney. Tierney didn't want to make the movie either, but appeared due to her contractual obligations. While George Sanders, John Sutton and Monty Woolley were all considered for the part of Waldo, Preminger chose Clifton Webb. Zanuck was opposed to this because of Webb's well-known homosexuality, but Preminger prevailed, and Webb, making his first screen appearance since 1925, was nominated for an Oscar. Preminger got his way again when Dana Andrews was cast as Mark McPherson. Zanuck wanted Reginald Gardner to play Shelby, though lost out again when Vincent Price finally got the role. Price always considered this to be the best movie he ever made. John Brahm, Walter Lang and Lewis Milestone turned down offers to direct, citing a lack of enthusiasm for the script, so Ruben Mamoulian was attached as director. Preminger harboured ambitions to direct, but due to a long-standing feud with Zanuck, was only permitted to produce and was barred from the set. When production began and the first batch of dailies came back, Preminger was deeply concerned. The costumes didn't suit the contemporary story, the sets were too ornate, Judith Anderson, who played Anne Treadwell, was overacting, and Dana Andrews and Gene Tierney looked amateurish. Preminger sent the footage to Zanuck, who agreed that it was a mess and ordered Mamoulian to reshoot everything, with Preminger still barred from the set. When the second set of dailies proved to be just as bad, if not worse, Zanuck removed Mamoulian from the film and installed Preminger as director, ordering him to start from scratch. For Otto, this included tossing out original cinematographer Lucien Ballard and replacing him with Joseph Laschel. When Vincent Price asked Preminger why he thought he was able to do a better job than Mamoulian, Preminger said, "Ruben only knows nice people. I understand the characters in Laura. They're all heels, just like my friends." After a rough start, the cast got along famously, and they all respected Preminger's judgment. Vincent Price said, "I may be one of the few people in the world who likes Otto Preminger, but I do." Gene Tierney said, "Otto held us together. He pushed and lifted what might have been a good movie into one that became something special." Clifton Webb agreed. Preminger was a harsh taskmaster. The actors were on set before the sun came up and didn't wrap for the day until 8 or 9 in the evening. Otto was tireless. When the rest of the cast seemed ready to drop from exhaustion, Otto would still muster as much vigour as when the day began. According to Gene Tierney, the cast had to endure hours of delay so that everything would be exactly as producer and director Otto Preminger wanted. Clifton Webb recalled the gruelling conditions, saying, "Laura took 10 weeks to make, and I was becoming more exhausted with every day. Benzodrine in the daytime to keep me going, and sleeping pills at night." While Tierney didn't rate her own performance, it is considered a standout by audiences. Having recently dealt with the severe problems of her baby daughter Daria, she is described by her husband as someone who, at the time, had died inside, giving her a ghostly quality, which seemed perfectly suited to the character of Laura. Despite David Raskin's score missing out on an Oscar nomination, many believe the haunting song Laura's Theme is one of the film's most enduring legacies. The music proved so popular that sheet music and recordings were released and became a huge hit. Johnny Mercer was asked to write lyrics for the song, which was also a smash hit and eventually became a jazz standard, recorded by more than 400 artists including Ella Fitzgerald, Woody Herman, Nat King Cole, Charlie Parker and Frank Sinatra. Despite the immense production difficulties, the final budget for the film came in at an economical $1.02 million. Joseph Lachelle won the Academy Award for Best Black and White Cinematography. Otto Preminger was nominated for Best Director. Clifton Webb was nominated for Best Supporting Actor. Jay Dratler, Samuel Hoffenstein and Betty Reinhardt were nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay. Lyle R. Wheeler, Leland Fuller and Thomas Little were nominated for Best Black and White Art Direction and Interior Decoration. The film's included on Roger Ebert's Great Movies list. It's among the 1001 movies you must see before you die. It's ranked number 4 on the American Film Institute's list of 10 greatest mystery films, and in the top 100 most heart-pounding American movies and greatest American movies. There was a remake for television in the 1950s with Robert Stack, Dana Winter and George Sanders, but the result was considered so bad that it was never released. In 1999, Laura was selected for preservation in the United States National Film Registry. There are a number of good reasons to watch this film. The fabulous black and white photography, the confusing but compelling storyline, great performances by all the cast, and the mesmerising soundtrack. I think you'll be entranced by the film as much as I've been. So what I'd suggest you do is that you go to our website, find our virtual screenings page, find the link to this particular film, click on it and watch it, see what you think. Please come back, let other people know what you thought about the film and whether you recommended it for them also. And then we'll see you back again in the not too distant future for our next classic films review. Catch you next time.